Hello and welcome to the Hoof GP. Today we're on our way to a farm with a bull who has gone incredibly lame. Unfortunately, around 2 weeks ago, and I've not had a chance to get there since the farmer called, so I'm praying it's not too late.
And I won't let it rush when I see you dance, and the moment comes when I fall and time goes slow. I fall into you.
So as I said in the intro, this farmer called about 2 weeks ago when his bull initially went lame. Unfortunately though, we are absolutely rammed, ridiculously busy, and we haven't managed to get to him before now. I did think we would be able to squeeze him in, but literally we've not had time at all. So I'm hoping that whatever is wrong with the bull is still fixable.
This is a farm we don't come to very regularly at all. In fact, I think it's almost been 2 years since we were last here. The cattle on this farm live a very naturalistic lifestyle on the green grass of southwest Scotland here in Wigtonshire, and they rarely need their feet attended to. The only reason in fact that we've been called in here is because the farmer would struggle to get the bull's leg in the air. Fortunately for us though, we have the tools and the equipment that will do it for us.
So this bull has been lame for a couple of weeks, but it's taken me a couple of weeks to get here, but the jag that the farmer gave him will have been doing miracles.
So this beautiful big boy is known as a Solaire or sailor bull, and luckily for us, he's fairly quiet.
Come on. Nothing to be scared of. Come on, that's a boy. That's a boy.
Once he's in the crush and we have his foot in the air, it's really important for me to get as much info from the farmer as I possibly can.
Is this the crack here that you meant? Just on this side though, yeah.
I don't want to make any errors and want to pinpoint the problem as quickly as I can. To get this hoof completely clean would take me around 10 minutes, and even then, it probably wouldn't be sterile in any way. So for now, a good little scratch off with the hook of my knife will have to do.
Stupid question. Could you have been wrong? It might be possible it wasn't on this foot. I'm just trying to decide if it was on both. Pretty sure it was.
Oh, you mean the claw?
Aye.
I'm not sure.
You're not 100%.
There certainly was a crack there, but the blood might have been oozing from there.
Right. Aye, fine.
The farmer knows this bull much better than I do, so it pays me dividends to listen to the knowledge he already has on him. He thinks there may have been a problem with this outer claw, but to me, it's very obvious that the major problem is with the inner one, because I can see the hoof horn peeling away from his heel.
Did you have his foot up? No.
No.
He stood on something then.
There's a large gash right down the middle of that faraway claw, but I'm more concerned with this outer one right now. If I'm right and the main problem is with the faraway digit, then I need to be able to block this closer one, but I need to make sure I'm not going to create a problem by doing so. In hindsight, it may have been obvious to you that there's a stone wedged right up through the middle of his foot, and it's become infected.
I didn't realise it's a stone. Like, see there?
Aye, that's a stone.
I thought it was just discoloured hoof horn. Oh yeah.
It's a razor sharp piece of whinstone, an incredibly strong stone that's local to this part of the world.
A lot of times you get people say, oh, it's stone damage, and it's rarely stone damage. Like, because that's literally designed to cope with stones. But that is exactly what that is. Now, I've seen that, it's fairly obvious, but I wanted to check that this isn't.
Because the farmer was fairly sure he'd seen cracking around this outer claw, I want to make sure there's no inflammation within it, hidden from our eyes. If it glows extremely warm and bright red, I'll know it's got inflammation and therefore pain, and I couldn't block it. However, it seems like the entire sole of his foot is exerting more heat than usual, meaning the inflammation is probably widespread.
Here, hoof testers, Craig.
I need to know if there's any localised problems though, which is where the hoof testers come
The
in.
reason for my apprehension is I don't want to stick a block on this foot if it is sore. I know that's so bloody obvious now, but
The moment of truth. If the bull flinches here, I won't be able to put a block on this foot, and therefore won't be able to get the pain away from the other one. It's a relief that he doesn't flinch in any way, so I can, indeed, stick the block on. First though, I want to trim as much of this loose and detached hoof horn from over the problem area as I possibly can. This hoof horn is incredibly tough, and having a block in position would impair my access, so I hold off and don't immediately fit it. At this point, I'm acutely aware that the bull has been in the crush for an extended period of time, so I do go ahead and apply the block. It needs as much time as possible for this glue to completely cure and have no chance of falling off. This block, for this bull, could literally mean the difference between life and death. We still have a long way to go with this trim though, and we still have stones to remove. Believe it or not, there are more than a few still hiding. In an effort to speed this whole process up, I once again reach for my grinder. The hoof horn is incredibly hard on this bull's foot because he's most likely been standing with it in the air. Any pressure he would put through it would have been absolutely excruciating, and it not being in contact with the ground will have meant that it's been continuously dehydrating.
more stones in there. Seen this?
Another stone.
Look at that. Nefa.
Nasty sharpening as well.
Okay.
And another bit.
Oh bloody wonder he was sore.
What an almighty mess this is turning out to be. But actually by the end of this trim, I think you might be pleasantly surprised by what his foot looks like.
He's actually knocked the corn off.
In the background, you just overheard Craig telling me that he's actually knocked the horn on his head completely off. Something we'll take a little look at later on.
That will heal up. I have no qualms at all that that'll heal up.
Hold on, just give me a second of your time. After so many of you asking so many times, we have finally launched the One Herd, One Family Grey hoodie. But we've also gone a step further and launched these Christmas pyjamas, fully emblazoned with the Hoof GP Highland cow in the front, Merry Christmas beneath it, and tartan or plaid sleeves and bottoms. And last but not least, after 2 or 3 years of you guys asking, we've finally launched a Hoof GP jacket. It's a soft shell jacket. These things are really comfortable, completely wind and waterproof, and have a longer back, so if you struggle with a builder's bum like me, they help to hide your modesty. If you want to check any of these things out, just head to thehoofgp.com. If you don't want to check any of them out, don't worry in the slightest little bit. Stock is really limited though, so if you would like any of this, then head over there as soon as you can to make sure you don't miss out. Right, back to the video.
Just imagine the pain of having stones as sharp as needles sticking right through your hoof and weighing around 750 to 800 kilos. That would have been unbelievable. Well, the pain was absolutely immense for this big guy. Genuinely though, this is trimmed out beautifully. I'm really happy with it.
Trims like this, where we find an incredibly obvious problem and can really do something about it, are the ones I absolutely live for. This block, coupled with the antibiotical spray and this wrap, will really work wonders for this bull. He's been in the crush for a long time now, and his feet are all in really good condition, but the farmer is slightly worried about some cracks he spotted.
You mean these cracks, the wee cracks here?
Just quite natural.
I think it's more dry dirt.
Is it dried up?
I think it's dry dirt cracking off.
Oh, we'll just leave them then. And then.
Yeah. See, his feet are nice. They're a nice size. I don't want to.
So there's usually here.
I got to like triple check here so that I'm not bloody wrong though. No, this is totally natural and it's just dirt that you're seeing cracking.
It was genuinely still worth checking though, and just look at what a mess he's made of his head.
That's what he knocked off. So a hoof horn and a head horn is actually made of almost the same material. You can see how smooth the attachment is on it though, so that's why they come off so easily. The difference between this and a horn that's on a cow's hoof is there's no striations, you can't see the lamina. If this was a hoof horn, there would be lots of little lines here which hold it onto the interior of the foot, but because it's from a head horn, if that makes sense, there are none of those little flaps. It's still going to hurt though.
Although it's definitely going to sting somewhat, there are no long-term problems with losing a horn like that. And now we can get a look at how he's walking with that block on. He's not sure about it yet, and he doesn't know he can put his weight through that block without insulting and hurting the affected claw. The inflammation within the hoof capsule itself will still be there, and that is the true source of pain, but now that we've removed all of those razor sharp little rocks, his hoof can begin to heal. Jobs like these bring me instant satisfaction in the knowledge that we've made this bull more comfortable and done our very best for the farmer who owns him and who values him very dearly. Despite having only trimmed one animal at this farm, we still do our very best to make sure everything is as clean, hygienic and spotless as possible.
I absolutely love trims like that. That bull... I've come the wrong way. Whoops. This is me doing an outro, but I've just driven into the middle of the field by accident. Whoops. Take two. But genuinely, I absolutely love jobs like that. We hardly ever come to this farm, and we've come here to sort out a bull, which is a really important animal for this farmer. And we found a glaringly obvious problem that we've done everything you can do to fix. We've removed the stones from the very heart of his hoof. Imagine how sore that must have been. Applying that block will mean that he's got all of the pressure off that sore foot, and the farmer is already giving him pain medication, so that bull is well on his way to recovery. These are the types of trims that I absolutely live for.